Hello and welcome back to Lukester Gaming. So, where do I start? I've literally just had like the single greatest battle I've ever had on World of Tanks, and I really wish I could have been recording that because oh my. And yeah, I've literally just set up my recording equipment at after 3:30 in the morning here for the sole purpose of doing this video. And even though it says 7 minutes ago on the log screen here, that's a big lie, because that's almost been about 40 minutes ago this battle happened. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is mute my microphone and let this log play out, because the amount of things that pop up is just unbelievable. So here we go. Wow. So we got our standard crew XP, we got King of the Hill, which was like 2 or 3 parts from this battle alone, and I'll get to that in a bit. And then we got Iron Will, which is like it's 2,000, I'll press on each actually, so it's 50,000 coins for the King of the Hill, 2,000 for Iron Will, which is destroying a heavy tank, or one or more heavy tanks and surviving the battle. And then you've got Hand of God, survive and win the battle having received damage from at least 4 different enemy vehicles. Duelist, in fact I'll not read them out. High Caliber, Fire for Effect, Bruiser, Mastery Badge Ace Tanker 99%, the Radley Walters Medal, awarded to players on vehicles of the 5th or higher tier for destroying 8 or 9 enemy vehicles in one battle. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever ever destroyed, should I say, 8 tanks in battle. I think the closest, or I think the most I've ever had was maybe 4 or 5, and even that was quite some time ago. Devastator, awarded for destroying 7 or more enemy tanks with, yeah. Top Gun, destroy more enemy vehicles at least 6 than any other player, so that there shows how well I've done. Defender, which was like, because the tanks at the end, there was about 3 or 4 of them at the end that I was single-handedly taking on, and I think all of them were like sitting in the capture point, and I was just bombing them, and just like sat there like with my heart pounding in my chest, just like, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. And like every shot that sort of deflected off my tank or like hit my tank, it did the most minor amount of damage. It was like, oh, this is just, come on, let this work in my favour, sort of thing. And yeah, Steel Wall, and then 10 critical hits, 1 enemy spotted, 2 tracked target hits, 19 enemy damaged, and 8 tanks destroyed. That is what I am talking about. I mean, look at that earning down at the bottom. Over 100,000 coins and just about 5,000 XP even. And team, yeah, right at the top, and the only survivor, as you can see, lit up. And yeah, just look at those glorious stats. I'm not going to read over them all, but yeah, you can see if you look at the damage received actually, 1,476. The Tiger, when fully upgraded like mine is, has 1,500 health. So yeah, I was literally on death's door by the end of this battle. I was like that for like the good last few minutes of the battle, whilst being shot at from tanks of what must have been around either, I'm not sure if they were tier 6 or tier 7, and there was a tier 4 that had still survived that was in the capture point, and he'd actually sort of come charging at me. I thought he was about to, like, he'd come charging over a hill, and I thought he was going to land on my tank and get like a sort of death from above kind of kill, but thankfully he didn't. And like, because he was just a small tier 4 tank, crashed into my tank, did sort of absolutely nothing for him. And yeah, you can see sort of right there all the silver that I earned the breakdown and the total XP earned from the breakdown. And as far as efficiency goes, that was definitely efficient. I mean, there's sort of all the damage to each tank, the ones that I've destroyed along the way too. Probably every tank on there is destroyed, or well, that one isn't actually. So just about every tank on there is destroyed, and with a severe pounded. Let's look at the stats again. Yeah, enemies damaged 9 and 8 of them were destroyed. Wow, that that was just some unbelievable battle. And like, yeah, I'm glad I was able to record this log, because like, I know that the logs don't let you access them anymore after a period of time, but I think that's only if you go off the log tab for long enough, or if you're in more battles afterwards. But after a battle like that, I just had to set things up and record this video. But as I said, I'm gutted I never had this recording, like, or that I never had it set up beforehand in order to record this, like the actual battle itself, because that definitely would have been worth every second. Although I say that, the battle started out like as a standard battle, which is why I thought nothing of it at first. And like it was on the Abbey map, as you can see, Abbey at night encounter battle. And like me and a small group of tanks, or a fairly average group of tanks, were heading down the left side of the map, this in between the two hill ridges on either side, with the dirt paths down the middle, or dirt track should I say. And we were coming down there like expecting to well, I was expecting anyway to maybe get destroyed or get involved in a battle halfway, but nothing really came up. And I think there must have been one tank along the way, if even, and we headed straight down to the bottom end, and then it was there we started sort of coming in contact with the enemy tanks, and just one by one sort of going, or well, I say one by one, we're sort of going round shooting at them and doing damage. And I must have been getting kills like here or there kind of thing, and like when I got one or two I thought, yeah, this is just like any other battle so far. And then as it went on, it was like getting shots from here and there. I was getting shots on them here and there, and getting another kill in, and then sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Yeah, getting another kill in, and like just going with it, and it just like worked out really well. And there must have been, like, coming down to it, there must have been our small group left, and like maybe twice as many tanks on the enemy team left, or maybe I'm exaggerating a bit there, but there must have been at least sort of 3 or 4 of us left down at this enemy starting point at this point. And we were just finished clearing up some tanks, and then we'd started coming under fire, and I think a few of them got destroyed. And I was so like concentrating on this battle that was unfolding that I hadn't even been looking up at how many tanks were left on our team. And then I looked up, and like it must have been down to, like, I think it was just me and one other guy left on our team at this point. And I was being shot from various places, and I think I got another kill in, and then came down, started heading down towards the capture point, because they were getting close at hand. And at this point there must have been 4 or 5 of them left still, although they were all quite like bad on health, like half or less I'd say, apart from the tier 4 tank that seemed to be relatively untouched. And yeah, like I said before, it was just a case of sort of coming down and then picking them off as they were sat in the capture point, trying to like win the battle. But I just didn't let that happen at all. And I don't know what happened to the other guy. I think he sort of ran in, sort of guns blazing, and got killed. And whereas I sort of hung back a bit and was using between the hillsides for cover, and just the amount of destroyed tanks that these few enemy tanks were using as cover in the capture point. And the little tier 4 tank was up on the hill, like I said, and tried to sort of death from above, or tried to sort of kamikaze me, but surprised he didn't destroy his own tank in the process through doing that. But yeah, even with him shooting me, because I was on so little health, I thought that even a shot from a little tank like that would do me in. But thankfully on like the second shot of like being sort of in direct sort of in your face range of next to each other kind of thing, I'd got the shot that took him out, and then kind of used that tank as just like an extra bit of cover to finish off like the last couple of tanks left. And I don't know if it was that same guy that was left over watching it, the guy that had went charging in and got killed, but there was someone that was like marking locations on the map and like letting me know that there was like a tank over there or a tank over here yet, and I just picked them off and destroyed them. And yeah, it was just unbelievable. Like these battles don't come up. Like these battles are rarer than draws, and at this point I've almost had 1,500 battles and about 10 draws. And yeah, this was like the one battle to rule them all, you could say. It was just remarkable. And it's safe to say that I put in like the best effort ever on this game. It went hand in hand with just like the knowledge of the map and just like knowing where to take cover and like the weaknesses of the tank, and just like trying to get the right shots at the right time on the enemy tanks. And there was one that seemed to be sat there looking at me for like, it must have been a good few minutes as I was putting round after round into him, and like I don't know if he'd like run out of ammo or just gave up trying to shoot me, or can't say he would have given up, but he was just sat there doing absolutely nothing and just letting me destroy him. And I think the last tank left, if I go on the efficiency, I think it was this Churchill, or I don't know, I think it was the T-29 actually. It was one of these two anyway, and like it was like the one that was actually sort of managing to land shells on me, or like he was just driving back and forward in this little dip in the land that was in the capture point, and using all these burnt out tank grub, like all the sort of burnt out tank grub all around him, and as like extra additional cover kind of thing. And it was just a case of trying to land the right shot on him and hope that he didn't land this sort of crucial deciding shot on me at that point, because it literally just came down to being a battle between me and him for like the victory on this. Hang on, if I look at the team, is he... Yeah, the two of them are listed quite highly on their team as well, but I'm miles gone compared to them. Like I say, miles gone, our damage is quite close, and I got the sort of 3 extra tank kills. But yeah, if I go back to the log screen again, there's the Operation King in the Hill and Iron Will, and if I jump over to the... oh, well, there's my stats. I've managed to get it back to almost 50-50 between the victories and defeats out of all the battles I've been in, and I've just added in 8 enemies destroyed onto that total anyway. If I come down to the tank in question, the Tiger 82, yeah, so that would have been 74 before, is that? Yeah. And anyway, the ops. So it was this King of the Hill one down here. So, I'd already had the middle one placed as the top damage dealer on your team from a battle some hours ago, I think. I say some hours ago, maybe a few hours ago that I was on this still. And yeah, places the top XP earner in your team and places the top vehicle destroyer in your team just came in that same one battle there. And yeah, and it was one of those ops that I looked at and thought that I'm never going to get all 3 of these. Like, I'll be lucky if I get 1 or 2, but there's no way I'm going to get all 3, so yep, I got all 3. And so far that's my stats on the freedom to win. I'm working my way towards that 10,000 and making the most of the premium time that I've got left in order to sort of speed up that process. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video here now, because there's not really much more that can be said, and like I did say, I wish I'd been recording that, or I wish I'd had it set up for recording that, but obviously in hindsight, or like you can't really know ahead of time that such a epic and remarkable and just incredible battle like that is going to happen. It's not like it's not one of those things where you can just have your recording equipment set up the whole time. Well, I wish I could at times, but I wouldn't want to be having all that set up and on just for the sake of hoping that a battle like that comes along. Although this video's going out the same day as World of Tanks hits the Xbox One, and I'd so wished it had been on there, because I could have used the game DVR to record like the last 5 minutes or so of gameplay. And yeah, we'd have had a video of like the epic battle to the end, to see who was going to come out on top, and then being able to sort of show off the stats at the end of that video as well. And yeah, anyway, I'll finish it there then. So yeah, I hope, and well, I just wanted to say I'm glad. I'm happy to see this. Well, I'm satisfied with the views that I've been getting on the sort of comparison videos between the Xbox 360 and Xbox One World of Tanks. It's quite a nice surprise to see that they're getting good feedback, and yeah, it's good to know that like your time spent putting these videos together is worth it. If like you get this comment saying that that's a good video, or you get to see the likes or the views are going up each day, and every day you come back to check it, it's like going up slightly more. And yeah, anyway, as always, stay tuned for more videos, stay tuned for my upcoming World of Tanks stuff, and I do have stuff in mind that I'm not going to review just now, although I'll probably be putting out a video about it at the same time anyway. But yeah, stay tuned for those, and as always, thanks for watching.